host, Donnie Darko, and Dex the Mex Yulson. Today we're going to be talking about top 5 quarterbacks and projections of next year. We're going to flip to see who starts first. I'm going to let Darko over here start it up.
Alright, heads or tails?
We'll go heads this time. Tails won it last time, feeling lucky. Oh, I just can't lose.
Is that fucking
Heads.
That was tails.
Oh, that was tails. Never mind, I lost.
They put his fucking face on the back, dude.
So heads, I guess I won.
Some trippy quarters, man.
Alright, so I'm going to give it to my counterpart here to start it off.
Alright, so starting in my number 5 for, I don't know if you want to call it fantasy projection, or just who do you think is going to have the best overall year for his team, taking them far. I'm going to go with Brady. Everything with Hernandez is blowing over now. Bill Belichick is still Bill Belichick minus all the cheating. We hope. I mean, there's a Spygate every year. He cheats.
Hey, you don't know if he's cheating or not. He just got caught once. You know?
Yeah, but I mean, he's got some weapons around him now. Hopefully, if he can get a running game, he will blow it up. But that's what it's contingent on. You're used to Brady having Gronkowski, Hernandez. I mean, Randy Moss, but he doesn't do shit. But it's always tight end heavy, and now Gronk's hurt. He doesn't have Hernandez or anything, so let's see how he does. But I think he picks it up this year from his, what people say, bad last year, but it was still pretty good last year.
Yeah, passing for about 4,500 yards.
It's not
Damn
bad.
straight.
Not bad.
And as much as I love that pick, I think I'm leaving him out of my top 5 this year.
Wow.
Just because they didn't really make any big free agent moves. They haven't really acquired any big wide receiver talent. And Gronk, I mean, who knows? I mean, people gave Johnny Manziel a lot of shit for being in Vegas and doing his whole little dance that he usually does because he's fucking Johnny Manziel.
He's not going to stop.
No one really ridiculed Gronk. I mean, Gronk's recovering. He hasn't had a healthy season in the last 2 years.
Yep.
You know, I mean, he was out half the season, came back, and then tore his ACL, which is not a fun injury by any means.
No.
So I'm going to have to leave him out. Probably going to get burned to the staff for this one because as we live in Colorado, we are big Broncos fans, so you'd expect us both to put PFM naturally in first place. However, I'm going to go with this boy out of Cal called Aaron Rodgers.
Ooh.
He had a very off season last year. The team wasn't quite what they expected it to be. However, I really see upside for this year. I think Aaron has had I've heard he's had one of the best off seasons he's had since he's been in the NFL. And I don't know if anyone actually saw that game they had against the Bears to get into the playoffs. About a 65-yard bomb at the end just to win the game. And it was unbelievable. And I think he's the best quarterback in the NFL right now. I think he's going to continue to be the best quarterback, and I think he's going to win a Super Bowl in the next 2 to 3 years.
See, I'd like that pick, but Jermichael Finley's career is done. And that was a huge target for him. I feel the same thing with Tom Brady that I said. It all depends on Eddie Lacy coming out and just blowing up the line.
Yep.
If he can get to 5-6 yards a carry, if he can take the load off, just get him some good yards, and then let Aaron Rodgers get those little bootleg passes, some slant routes for 8-9 yards.
I mean, you still got Cobb.
You do still have Cobb, but
You got Jordy Nelson.
Yeah.
I mean, you're forgetting about these wide receivers. Yeah, Finley is on the downside.
But tight ends are huge. And that's what Jermichael Finley bought. That's why Antonio Gates is worth so much. Gronk, Hernandez, Todd Heap.
Agreed, because they're mismatched nightmares.
They are mismatched
How can you
nightmares.
stop that comeback route from Aaron Rodgers? That 30-yard comeback, his 2 feet are in, and he's catching the ball 3 to 4 feet outside. There's no defender that can stop that. Richard Sherman, I don't care how good you think you are.
Yeah.
You are not stopping that. Unbelievable.
No.
It's unstoppable if it's accurate. And it is accurate fairly often.
All right. So you
round
went with
2.
Rodgers at 5. I'm going with Russell Wilson at 4.
Ooh.
The kid, I like it. I mean, he just came off a Super Bowl. Like, either he is going to hit that slump and just pull an RG3, get hurt. Because, I mean, I do love the dual threat quarterback. That's why I loved Michael Vick. That's why I like Cam Newton a lot. That's why I like all those guys. But even Colin Kaepernick, I don't fear for Colin Kaepernick as much because he is a monster. But Russell Wilson one day is just going to get lit up. And if he can just take those slides, get those easy yards, and then throw it deep, and if he doesn't have the referees calling passes for him and touchdowns,
Yeah.
That bullshit game against the Packers.
Yeah. Hey, we don't have childhood refs anymore.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If he can have a really good year, if his ego doesn't get to him, that's what it's all. And if he hits that slump, it is going to be a terrible slump. He's going to get a lot of crap, but I'm hoping for the best.
See, my counter rebuttal to that argument is defense. Their offense was nothing special. Yes, they embarrassed us, unfortunately, in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that was just
However,
bad.
that offense wasn't a prolific offense throughout the year. They were known for their defense, good amount of their special teams, and their offense was consistent.
Oh, their special teams is insanely
Exactly.
good.
Their offense was consistent, but they weren't that offense that could come back from a 20-point deficit consistently, or a 15-point, 13-point, whatever it is, consistently. They don't have that manpower. Russell Wilson's not that guy. He's too inconsistent. Yeah, he has some games where he plays out of his mind, but he's too inconsistent to say the number 2 quarterback of next year, I believe.
Number 4. I'm going number 4.
Oh, you're going backwards.
I'm going backwards.
I'm going forwards.
All right, so he's going for. So he's got Aaron
I
Rodgers
got Rodgers at 1.
I got Brady at 5. Wilson at 4.
All right.
Another thing I got to say is, defense is what wins.
Of course.
I mean,
Look at the Ravens.
Look at Tim Tebow. Tim Tebow has a great record, and he was just crap. But put Russell Wilson on that Broncos team with that defense, we're not losing. We were not going to lose with a defense that good. I mean, if you can win with Tim Tebow, Prater's still going to be kicking 63-yarders and crap.
God's going to push them in so they go in.
In Prater, we trust. But that's what I got to say. If you have a good enough defense, I mean, that's how Joe Flacco got good. The Ravens' defense has always been good. You had Ray Lewis just lighting up that defense.
Yep.
You got a good defense standing behind you. Any quarterback can be good.
Yep, because it boosts that ego, it boosts that confidence when your defense holds a 3 and out and you go right back up there and score a touchdown. You got more confidence than anything in the world.
You get the ball a lot more too. Like
we're not talking about D right now. We're talking about top 5 quarterbacks of next
But
year.
yeah, if you're talking about fantasy, who has the most options to get the most points, you want your defense giving the ball right back to you.
Correct. All right, so my number two quarterback obviously has to be Peyton Manning. I love you to death, my man.
Yeah.
Unbelievable comeback. I personally think he should have won comeback of the year his first year back instead of AP.
I mean, AP had a
AP was amazing.
Year.
Yes, I agree. I wish he would have got that NFL rushing title. I really do. But I think Peyton arguably should be number 1, but I just can't do it because of his playoffs. I just can't. I can't. He's not clutch in the moment when we truly need him to be.
Yeah.
And I mean, you look at that championship game against the Seahawks and the 49ers. I mean, Kaepernick was one pass off, and he has that fire in his stomach. He's got that long cannon. That's my one concern with Peyton Manning is that arm strength. People say he's got that arm strength, and yeah, sometimes he can throw a 40-yard streak. But I mean, that's just a straight streak. That is a slot.
He doesn't have that deep ball to
Demarius. He can't throw a 40-yard bomb over the shoulder anymore. He just doesn't have that arm strength, and that's a big concern for me.
That was a lot of his picks too.
If
you see the highlights of his interceptions, that's what a lot of his picks or Decker dropping the ball.
Yeah, I Decker's a fucking idiot.
That's the whole thing I have wrong with Peyton. He can, but no Decker. Wes Welker's getting hurt. No Sean just got traded, thank God.
Ball's stepping up.
Ball is stepping up, though. He's not selling cell phones anymore.
No.
That's still one of my favorite stories. You're selling cell phones one day, and he gets a call like, hey, we need a running back. Like, come train with us, and then he got called up.
No, he didn't.
He was selling cell phones.
We drafted him out of Wisconsin.
Oh, no, that is Ball. Who was I thinking? Who's our number 2?
The guy who we just picked up?
No, Bell. We've had him for the last few years.
Do we still have him? I don't think we have him.
Disregard all of that. Yeah, no, Monte Ball. I like
Bell plays for, what's his name? Bell plays for, Pittsburgh. Anyway.
One of you guys knows what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Well, he's like our number 2 or 3 back. Whenever No Sean got hurt and all that, he came up. He fumbled a lot, but I mean, without No Sean, we have 1 running back now. We don't have Decker. It's all on.
Thank the Lord.
It's all on Demaryius Thomas now, and that's the whole thing. Either Thomas is just destroying Megatron's record next year.
No, disagree.
See that's the whole thing of manning it too. That
That's like saying fucking Eric Decker is going to thrive in that Jets system.
No, Eric Decker is not a number 1 receiver.
No.
He's a number 2 slot receiver.
I agree. He could be a number 1 receiver if he wasn't a shithead. But I mean, he's got the physical size, he's got the strength, he's got all the athletic talents, but he doesn't have that quickness that you look for in a number 1 receiver.
All right.
And he doesn't really have the hands that you look for in a number 1 receiver. He's got great hands, but it's not quite amazing.
I don't know. He dropped a lot of balls. He did save my ass one fantasy week, though, with those 3 touchdowns and just destroyed it. All right.
So you're number 3.
My number 3, Andrew Luck. Kid is wicked smart. He doesn't make too many mistakes. He is still a mobile quarterback. And he's just thick.
Oh, I agree, dude.
That dude is a monster. And he's not going to be running the gaps and everything, but he can scramble, and he's got that really good throw to his off leg.